Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com. Greetings again from Maui, beautiful Hawaiian island. I love it here. Topic for this video is how to shift anything in your life. Again, you might be stuck sometimes with some eating patterns that you don't like or some ways of responding in specific conflicting situations or something that has to do with your business or any other challenge in life. The best way to shift anything that is going on that you no longer like in your life is to take very small steps at a time. Of course, you can go for big steps, there are all sorts of possible strategies. The one that I'm giving you now is the strategy that I feel works the best, not just for me, but for the clients that I have been coaching. The idea is that when you have a challenge, the first thing is that if it's a small challenge, you need to identify exactly what this challenge is. You need to be able to write it down, maybe summarize it in one sentence, and then design the exact tactic that is a better approach, a solution for the challenge that you are facing. So you summarize the solution in one sentence as well. Most of the times you will notice that it's possible to do that. And the next step is to start establishing this new habit and focus on just that for the next week. Okay, it's really simple in terms of tactic or in terms of approach. The challenge is identify exactly what the problem is, or the challenge is, or the limiting factor is for you, and then designing the exact strategy that matches the solution. So sometimes you will be faced in life with a situation where what you feel, the challenge that you are facing is too vast, too big, or it's too vague. This is one of the reasons why so many people get stuck with the challenge that they are facing. For instance, let's take the example of nutrition, right? Again, the example of raw food, shifting to a raw food diet. Many people go like, they have been eating meat, cooked food for a long time, and then they go like, I want to shift to a raw food diet. I'm no longer happy with eating cooked food, therefore I'm going to shift to raw food. The thing is that when you make a decision like this one, the challenge is too big. It means that you are attacking or trying to tackle an eating pattern, which is eating cooked food, with the solution which is too big, too vast. It's a chunk which is too big to take all at once. So you have to start with smaller steps. See, instead of going and saying, I want to shift to a raw food diet, what you have to do is summarize the challenge to something which is smaller pieces that you can easily afford. For instance, instead of saying, I want to shift to a raw food diet, you can say, what is the simple step that I can take in the coming week, nutrition step that I can take in the coming week that is going to increase the quality of my nutrition from X% to higher, increase 5 points, 5%, 10%. What is the simple step that you can take, the simple shift that you can make in your diet or your nutrition habits that is going to increase the quality of your diet slightly? Okay, so when you do that, it's a very different thing than saying, I want to go raw. And if you do that consistently, you see, 1 week you identify a simple challenge, you establish that as a habit. For instance, it might mean, I want to eat more raw vegetables. Okay, simple. That's something that's a chunk that you can easily afford. It doesn't mean that you have to suddenly no longer eat cooked rice, or no longer eat cooked vegetables, or no longer eat meat. What it means is that you just want to make one small shift that you can easily afford. And once you make that shift, then you can go for another one. And if you do that consistently and every week you add a new shift and you get used to it, and you really make it your top priority, within 3 months you have like 12 new eating patterns in your diet that basically radically shift the way you approach your nutrition patterns. So you see, we broke down the challenge into small chunks that you can easily afford. Instead of going, I want to go raw, which is, believe me, it's a big challenge for different reasons that I'm not going to cover here. But that's what people, say or do very often. Um, so instead of going for one big challenge, you break down the challenge in 12 small steps that you can easily afford. You see, in my opinion, that's super effective no matter what you uh, you do in life. Let's take another example. Suppose that you have your own business, and we are having a conversation, and you tell me, I'm not happy with my business. Okay, this is vague. It's like very vague. When you say I'm not happy with my business, it can mean tons of different things. So when we try to break it down into small chunks, what we are going to do is, what exactly are you unhappy with your business with? What are the aspects of your business that are challenging you that you don't like? So you might say, I have too much paperwork. I wake up every morning way too early and I come back home too late. I don't have time for my family. I don't have enough freedom. Uh, I have to do too much marketing and I don't like it. I don't have enough support. I miss team members, or I have team members who do a lazy job, or I've been running and I'm totally enslaved by my business, and I've been doing that for 10 years and still not finding solutions. So you see that when we break down the challenges, eventually you will notice that you can break down those challenges to very simple things. For instance, when you say you can even break those challenges down to even smaller chunks. For instance, if you say, well, I'm not happy with my team, very often it will be because you're not happy with one or two specific members in your team. Those are the ones who might be creating problems for you. So you look at your team and you go like, well, who aren't you happy with? And you realize that it's happening with Paul or Justin. So you focus on the exact person who is trouble. And then what is the challenge with that specific person? You might say, well, that person is bullying other team members, or that person is showing up late for work, or that person is systematically arguing with me when I try to give directions. See how it works? Eventually you can reduce the challenge to its real size in chunks and very precise chunks or targets. And once you have those targets, all you have to do is identify the exact tactic. For instance, if Paul is the guy who is, troublemaker in the team, that's it. It's either you can fire him, or you can give him an ultimatum, or you can hire somebody to instruct him, or you can develop some new management skills to be able to manage him better, or you can give him new boundaries. You can sit down and have a conversation with that person. See, you have all sorts of possible strategies, ways to go, but you have to first identify what is the exact challenge. From going to a situation where you were just saying, I'm not happy with my business, now you have a target which is, I need to do something about Paul's attitude. And more specifically, the fact that he's showing up every day too late. So the way you are going to tackle that is by using a very specific tactic, which is communicating with that person in a very specific way. You see how it works? So no matter what you want to change in life, you can apply the same kind of tactics, which is taking small steps, reducing a big challenge to its real size in small chunks that you can easily oversee, and then take action for each one of these smaller challenges at a time. I hope you got it. This is again what we can do in coaching sessions. So if you feel that you are facing these kind of challenges, just get in touch. vitalcoaching.com for a coaching session. I'll be happy to help you. And otherwise, keep watching the videos. I'm off to Kauai after Maui next week, beginning of the following week. So I'll be in Maui another 8 days, and then Kauai for a week, and then Big Island for probably 3 weeks. Wow! Let me show you the landscape over here. Haleakala, House of the Sun. Peace to you. Take care.